You want to kill overthinking and become confident real fast? Understand one thing, me and you are the same. My brain is pretty much the same as your brain. On a base level, we're all the same. I feel that what you feel, I go through the same thing that you go through. So you take a chance on me and assume that I'm not a psycho, and I'll take a chance on you and assume that you're not a psycho. So do whatever I tell you to do because it worked for me, so it's going to work for you. Now, strip everything down to the very, very basics. You know when you go to sleep, right? And you set your alarm because you're like, I want to wake up at 5 o'clock, right? So you're like, I'm going to set an alarm for 5. I'm going to set an alarm for 5:01, 5:02, 5:03, 5:04, 5:05, da 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 da, right? But then you're stressed and you don't sleep that night, right? You're tossing and turning in the night like, I need to go to sleep, I need to go to sleep, I need to go to sleep. And it's like 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. in the morning and you just haven't gone to sleep yet. As opposed to, you know when you have nothing to do tomorrow, or you're like, I'm going to sleep as long as I want to sleep. You fall asleep like this. By the end of this video, I'm going to tell you exactly how you can use that very principle and apply it to your overthinking. Now, if you're someone who has contingency plans, right? Someone who thinks, what will go wrong? I need a plan A, I need a plan B, I need a plan C. What are you telling yourself, right? You're telling yourself you don't have confidence in your momentum. You don't have confidence in what your life you've envisioned to be like, right? So you mapping out all these little chess moves in your life, what's going to happen after this and this and this, is killing your confidence and is killing your charisma. Now, if you're a little bit retarded like I was, I used to take pride in this. I'd be like, bro, I have a contingency plan for everything. I know what this happens. I know what's going to happen if that happens. Da 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 da. And lo and behold, I was just anxious all the time. And lo and behold, I felt like that I wasn't confident. My charisma and everything was just draining away from me. So use that very principle and apply it to overthinking. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't have backup plans, but you shouldn't be the guy who has contingencies on top of contingencies on top of contingencies. Now, I used to be that guy as well. I used to be like proud, you know. If you're retarded like me, I was like, I have a plan for everything. I know if that goes wrong, this goes wrong. I'm going to map out all the different scenarios in my brain so nothing will be able to affect me. Bro, that is so bad for you. Trust me, because what's going to happen? You're just going to become so divided in your attention. You're going to be divided in your energy, and you're just going to be all jittery all the time. And let me tell you exactly why that's wrong. If you're putting contingency plans, you're automatically telling yourself that you do not have confidence in your momentum. You do not have confidence in the way that your life is being planned out. So you having multiple backup plans is you basically saying that your destiny is going to be failure. Now, let's not even talk about this law of attraction, spiritual stuff, right? Let's talk about your biology. What do you think is going to happen to your cortisol levels when you're constantly anxious or when you're constantly thinking what's going to go wrong next, what's going to go wrong next? It's going to spike. Do you think confident, charismatic people are all jittery and all feeling on their edge and like standing on their tippy toes, having their eyes dart around like... They have full confidence in that they can deal with anything that comes their way. See, personal story. I used to have a friend and he used to be like this, just like me, right? Just constantly mapping out all these chess moves in his head. And he used to say the exact same thing when it comes to, I want plans on top of plans because I don't know what's going to happen to me. I need to protect myself. And I told him one thing and I'll tell you the same thing. When you feel anxious, when you feel like you need to control everything in your life, just do this. If I die tomorrow, I die tomorrow. If I embarrass myself, I embarrass myself. If I get killed, I get killed. You know, when you're in that mindset, you need that one thing to kind of snap you out of it. And that's the one thing that you can do. Just shrug your shoulders. You don't have to go and think about like, oh, everything's going to happen. You don't have to go into that like kind of mental PhD study in your head to assume that everything's going to be okay. Simple actions like shrugging your shoulders can actually just put you back on that calmness scale. And this helped him significantly, right? Because he used to have like these major depressive episodes. He used to like overthink his way to his grave, basically, right? And in order to like cope with this, he used to just hotbox. He used to like bud up all the time. I'm like, bro, you don't need to do this. You can just be calm, sober. You don't need to bud up. When you understand the concept that things are going to happen to you regardless, you can't control the external circumstances. There could be a tsunami, right? The next door neighbor could go to war or something. Who knows, right? You can't control what happens to you. You can only control what you react with. And when you control how you react, you control your external body language. When you control your external body language, you control your mind. Because inevitably, you know that your mind and your body is linked, right? If you start smiling for 20 seconds, you will feel happy. If you put your chest out, you'll feel more confident. Your body language affects your mind. So the more and more you're relaxed about the outcome, and you're like, I'll deal with it when I deal with it. The more you train your nervous system to be chill. The more you train your nervous system to just allow things that happen. So you know when my friend was just spliffing up and he was hotboxing himself. The hippies are doing the exact same thing, right? And you see the hippies, right? They're all like, world peace, happiness, love, right? Veganism. And they're all like super, super happy all the time. Why is that the case? The same thing when you drink alcohol, right? You drink alcohol and then you feel like a bit like, the world is spinning again. Why is that the case? Something in whatever you're putting into your body is interacting with certain kind of nerve endings in your brain, which is making you feel like that. So if the entire mechanism's already inside your brain, surely that feeling can be achieved naturally. You can be drunk on life by being sober. And you can be like, Alan, that's so easy to say, it's so hard to implement in my stressful lives. One word: oxygen. Why do you think that why do you think that when you're going out for a jog or when you're going out for a bike, you feel instantly calmer? Because oxygen is getting into your brain. The more you breathe, the deeper you breathe, the more high you are on life, the more sober you are. The oxygen is your natural high. You are being sober, but you're being high on life. You have achieved it. Now, whenever you feel a little bit anxious, whenever you feel a little bit overthinking, walk outside, breathe in some oxygen, walk to some trees, talk to a tree or something, right? You might look like a psycho, but talk to a tree and you will instantly feel a little bit more calmer. And that compounds and compounds and compounds. Now, if you don't have oxygen and if you don't have sunlight where you come from, bro, I can't help you, so don't subscribe. But if you do and you want to see my face and you want a little bit more help when it comes to charisma and confidence, hit that subscribe button and you will see me a lot more on your feed. Until next time, Alan Abraham out.